In 1959, a young man, just 24 years of age, was sitting on the banks of the mighty Ganga River in Patna, Bihar, pondering how was he going to bring these 3 trucks across the river. He had already traveled over 800 kilometers from Kashmir, and going back was not even an option. An idea struck him when he saw some boats lining the banks, and it excited him to explore this further. He quickly walked over to the local fishermen and said, "Bhaiya, can you bring my trucks across on your ferries?" Shocked to hear such a request, finally, one of the fishermen said, "Saab, no one has ever crossed Ganga in this way. It's very dangerous." This man, calm, but in a very determined voice said, "Well, let's try something new today." He innovatively tied 3 boats together, put wooden planks on top of them, and then loaded the trucks, creating the first ferry bridges that were used for transporting trucks from India to Nepal. This man is Sardar Pritam Singh. He became the first person to bring commercial transportation to Nepal in the 1950s. And this revolutionized the logistic industry, which had deep impact on the social, economic, and the political landscape of the nation. And as his work did not finish there, when the need arose for better education for Indian children in Nepal, he established the first Indian charitable school in the 1970s. Now imagine being the daughter of such a legend. On the one side, he was being called the transport king, a philanthropist, an educationist. And on the other side, his daughter was struggling to just stay in school, especially a school which he has established. The weight of his legacy was humongous, and I was not ready to take that responsibility. But it all came together in 2020, when the COVID pandemic pushed all of us into global isolation. I found myself at a very crucial juncture. And this time, I chose to see the world from my Father's eyes. Instead of looking at those obstacles, I looked at them as not as barriers, but as opportunities to forge new paths. As I couldn't go out, I chose to go into the virtual space. I started an online communication program for a handful of people so that I could educate them, so that I could connect with them. In exchange, I asked for a token Guru Dakshina amount of 500 rupees, not for me, but for someone in the community. A few days later, I received a call which changed everything. On the other side was a young little voice with a very timid voice. And she said, "Ma'am, my name is Mithilesh. And ma'am, because of you, today I can see the world." I was speechless. I was emotional. I quickly inquired to find that one of my mentees, Soumitra Dubey, had actually used his Guru Dakshina amount to get a refurbished phone for Mithilesh along with a set of headphones so that she could join the online classes during the pandemic. One simple technology had transformed Mithilesh's world. Saumitra's innovative solution to Mithilesh's challenge inspired the birth of my nonprofit organization to serve and educate children in rural India. Our mission? Bridge the educational gaps using technology. And that small little seed, which was sown by Saumitra and Mithilesh, has today grown into a massive tree of hope, supporting over 4,000 children in rural India. This is the power of service leadership, where people like you and me are bringing transformative change at the grassroots level, using our skills and resources that are accessible to us. Ma'am, I know how to use the phone now. Ma'am, every day Sandhu sir and Akhilesh sir spend time with me, and Anshu ma'am sends me a Google Meet link into the WhatsApp group. I click on it and then I go into a class where all my friends are there teaching and learning from Saumitra sir. Ma'am, it was very hard in the beginning, but now I have become the class monitor and I've learned how to share the screen. Adarsh, class 5, recipient of our smartphone project. Adarsh is a first-generation smartphone user, as no one in his family had a phone before this. Recently, we celebrated Independence Day virtually, and all the children were beautifully dressed in their tricolors, waving their flags frantically. But in the corner of my eye, one screen caught my attention. And I saw Garima standing in complete darkness. So I asked, Garima beta, where are you? Why is it so dark? And she said, Ma'am, there was no electricity at home, but I wanted to be here with all of you. That day, the light that was shining on Garima's face was not just the light from her smartphone screen. It was the light of hope, which technology had given her. The ability to celebrate, to feel included, to feel empowered. Innovation is not about inventing the wheel. It's about asking questions so that we can find new solutions to problems that exist. Ma'am, what about all the children who are going back to school now that COVID is over? How will we motivate our backbenchers? How will we bring technology to the classroom? A simple question asked by Dr. Namika Mishra, one of our dedicated mentors, resulted in us starting the Smart School Initiative. Today, we have adopted 28 primary government schools in rural India, where we have given them digital technologies such as a smart TV, a smart laptop. We give them an alarm system to prevent theft. And we have also given them battery backup, because we take electricity for granted in urban India, but it is not as accessible to others. These stories are not unique. They are echoes of a larger movement of inclusivity and empowerment that is taking place at the grassroots level by people like you and me, where we are bringing and uplifting communities using our skills and resources that we have accessible to us. As this technological revolution accelerates and we talk about big data and AI, there are others on the other side of the pendulum who don't even have basic access to technology. My father had passed the baton to me, and today I pass it to you, because I believe that each one of us can be a change enabler, as long as we have one idea and the intention to serve. And that's why I invite each one of you in this audience today to embrace the principles of service leadership, to promote the United Nations sustainability goals of quality education and eliminating poverty in our communities using the GBTC framework. G, give access. Now, how many of us have an used phone or an old tablet sitting in our drawers, collecting dust? Is there someone around that needs it but does not have access? Can you consider giving it to them? Build connections. Speak to people around you, people working in your homes, the vendors. Ask them about their families, ask them about their children, and ask them how can you digitally empower them. Transform education. Handhold your near and dear ones. You know, your old uncle and aunties who don't know how to use those digital apps which we very comfortably use? Teach them by being patient. Collaborate with educators to find innovate digital tools that can be used in diverse conditions. And champion empathy. Engage at the grassroots level with your own communities to understand their challenges, so that you innovate technology which is not just advanced, but it is culturally and contextually suitable to them. So are we ready to become change enablers? To use technology not just to advance, but to uplift communities and unite the world. Thank you.